Okay, we're back. Welcome to hour 2 of the CORBIE Test stream. I'm John. I'm your host. I can really get kind of screwy in the VTube world. We did an hour just now of a test stream for a new run of Club Corbie on Twitch initially there, and the first hour was it was a trip, let's just say that. Everything that could go wrong possibly, if they possibly could go wrong, did. And okay, not everything. A lot of things that could go wrong did. We had strange technical hiccups, but we are drawing a new version, a new edition of issue 2 of the comic book Morgan Corbie, which I originally drew in pencil some 5 years ago. And now we're going back and we are redoing every single... I don't know if we're going to redo every single element, but we're going to redo a lot of them. And the first hour there, we had some strange hiccups. I think there's something odd with this, with the canvas, with this image as it was originally created, and I don't know what I did back in 2018 to make it like this. I don't know if it's just oversized or what, but it was really throwing Krita for a loop in terms of loading up the image and then actually letting me draw on it. And we got like midway through the stream there, and it just twice the art just completely undid itself. It was like I was holding Control Z on the keyboard. It just undid everything. I don't know what happened. By the way, we're supposed to be live on Picardo as well. That didn't work. It can't connect. Some kind of a little hiccup in OBS or something. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. Again, that's why you do a test stream, is to pick up on these things and know what needs to be worked on. So not ideal for our first day back. I didn't talk about it on hour 1 during the Twitch stream, but there was a lot of fiddling going on during the setup to get everything ready for streaming again. That was pretty much my whole Sunday, was getting everything in place to be able to stream for you again, and creating all new assets and everything from scratch, templates, because a lot of that stuff has been scattered to the wind now, and because it's been so long since I was streaming lasted, especially since I last did an art stream. Okay, I'm not happy with I think I want to redo Karen's arm here, but what I was going to say was I managed to completely mess up my computer on Sunday, and we were actually supposed to go live on Monday morning for the test stream rather than today, but we ended up being so far behind because I couldn't resist the urge to meddle, and you know, I'm always trying to tweak everything so I can get all the settings just right, and a lot of knowledge is a dangerous thing. You know, if you don't know anything about computers, then you're not going to try and risk meddling. If you know too much, you know, then you know how to fix everything. If you're in the middle, and I mean, I've worked as an IT professional for years, so I'm computer literate, but I'm not like a programmer or anything. But that's kind of the danger zone, is because, you know, you kind of half know what you're doing and you half don't, so you're more likely to go in and meddle. You'll meddle and then you'll break something, and you have ideas about how to fix it, but you don't really know. You're kind of flying blind. That's a dangerous place to be, and it's a place I found myself in all too often, where I just tinker because I just want everything to be just right, you know? I can't just leave things be. So we're going to do an hour this morning on, we did an hour on Twitch, we're going to do an hour on YouTube, and it would have been an hour on Picarto as well, but that didn't work. Well, now we'll do an hour on YouTube this morning, and the plan is, as I was saying during the Twitch stream, you're going to hear me say that a lot this morning. During the Twitch stream I said this, and during the Twitch stream I said that. It's just kind of the nature of everything. I have to set everything up again, but during the Twitch stream I explained that the reason I'm streaming at such an unreasonable hour is I'm kind of trying to reverse, do sort of reverse psychology on myself. What's typically happened in the past is if I stream during the spring and the summer months, it's fine, there's plenty of daylight, it's warm in the studio, and I'm happy to do it. Once we get into October, November, December, January, it's like the prospect of coming into a cold room with no heating in the dark and streaming then is like I can never do it. That's always where I tail off at that point. That's when I stop doing streams. I cannot keep things up. Once I get to about November, I'm always like, nah, I can't face it. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is do these early morning streams, and then, you know, instead of it getting darker as I'm going on, I'm streaming when the sun comes up, which is, I don't know how it's going to work out for me because I'm not a morning person either. But you know, maybe that'll work out the other way. Maybe my insomnia will just set things up so it's like, well, it's 6 AM and I'm supposed to be streaming. I haven't been to bed, or have been to bed but it didn't work. And then you know, I'll stay up and stream. It'll be like I'll just work out that way. I'll probably not be at my sharpest mentally at that point, but it could still work. This is the theory anyway, is I'm thinking I can psych myself out. Or sort of, you know, trick myself into doing it. Everything seems to be running a lot more smoothly now than it was during the Twitch stream. Touch wood. We've got a lot of work ahead of us because this is just the beginning now. But what I wanted to do was make sure that, because we have, I didn't talk about this on stream here. I should have, shouldn't I? Hold on, let's just take a break for a sec. And we will walk over to that didn't work either. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Right, we're going to talk about the new version of issue 1 of CORBIE. So this is the hype portion of the stream. This is the new cover for the remastered edition of Corinne Morgan CORBIE issue 1. You might have read the original. You probably haven't. But you might have read the original. Which has been available for free. This is a new premium edition. I'll let you read into that what you will. The new cover for the new version is coming out in a few weeks' time. Expanded and remastered for its 5th anniversary, as it says there. It is CORBIE as it's never been seen before. It is entirely redone from the ground up, like we're doing today with issue 2, but this is issue 1. There are 5 new pages of added content to get up to 22 pages, and all the existing pages have all been completely redone, and it's a much more consistent, much cooler, much more professional looking piece of work, and I'm really proud of it. And this is issue 1's variant A cover, but there's also the variant B cover, which is that one there with CORBIE as well. So you can have your choice. Now, there are going to be you'll be able to buy it digitally, but there are also going to be printed copies as well. But at least that's the plan. Is we're going to do some sort of a super limited print run. Like if you guys want to purchase a copy of this, you'll be one of the few people on the planet who will ever own an issue from this print run of CORBIE. But that's to come. Within the next couple of weeks, the digital version will go online, and that comes out first, and should be available across several different platforms where you can purchase it. And that's what I've been doing for the last. I can't even bring myself to say that actually, because I've been working on it for the last year, is redoing CORBIE issue 1 from the ground up, because it was a bit stop-start, especially in the beginning. But yeah, it's coming. You can read about that on the CORBIE website. I will post the link in chat. There we go. Let's get back to working on the page stuff. For issue 2. What I want to do is keep the momentum going. I know from past experience the first thing is when you have like a big launch or something like that, and then you sort of build it up in your own mind, and it comes and goes, and then you're sort of like, well, is that it? And it can be kind of depressing, because it's a big thing to you, but it's not really big to everybody else. The world keeps turning, you know. So I find that the best way to get around that is, you know, you get to launch day and you celebrate, but then it's like at the same time you're working on the next thing. You can take a moment to celebrate and a moment to reflect, but you kind of got to keep moving. I think that's really important. For me anyway. I know that another factor is by the time issue 1 comes out, and again by that point we're going to be into October, and I need to keep things going for myself, because I know that once we get into the winter months, I'm definitely one of those people who has the what you call it, the seasonal affected disorder business, and it can be really tough. Like here in Scotland, what happens is, you know, once you get into the real like dead of winter, it's like a couple of hours of daylight if you're lucky. And it almost feels like you're just living in darkness all the time, and it's, you know, you got to find, for me anyway, it's like you got to find ways to work around that and keep yourself positive and keep yourself moving. So I want to make sure that when we get to you know, into October, November, December-ish, I've plenty to keep myself occupied, and that includes, you know, starting on this now is starting to work on the new version of issue 2 of CORBIE, and hopefully we can also like get a quick turnaround on it. Like I said, there's only 13 pages from the original comic in the content, you know, actual story pages, so at least it shouldn't take long to get that turned around. I mean, that was the amazing thing about issue 1. Redoing it there and doing the 5 new pages was the fastest I've ever been able to turn around doing new content, because it was literally, I think, like 2 weeks. 2.5 weeks, something like that, to go from doing scripting the pages, thumbnail on the pages, drawing them, colouring them, lettering them, was turned around really quick, and I was actually kind of impressed with myself. I've never been able to do that before. Part of it is just having a better setup now, you know, finally having everything the way I want it, having processes in place to do all this kind of stuff. And that's something that's only really came with experience, I suppose. Is, you know, figuring out a way of doing things that works for me, and you know, having the workflow set up in a way that works for myself. Trying to get this collar line just in a way that it doesn't create any kind of weird tangents. Okay. Okay, that's strange. Yeah, the process of going back and fixing it, issue 1, was just finding so many weird things, you know, visual oddities and things that I feel like I, want to go back and question myself from 5 or 6 years ago and being like, why did you do it like that? Why is this element like this? But we're only human, we all make mistakes, or just have blind spots where there's like something, an element on a page or something, and you don't see that it's incorrect, or you have time constraints and there's only so many things. You got to keep things moving. That was a huge issue with CORBIE issue 1. And it was like Goings was, it was just everything was taking so long. And it was kind of that way with the remaster as well, to be honest with you. Especially in the early goings. That was the shocking thing, was I thought it wouldn't take that long surely because I'm just fixing everything up, but it did. Okay. Well, the sun is up now. When I came downstairs this morning to start the stream, we were still pretty much in darkness, and now it's totally different. Which is nice, that's what I wanted it to be like. It's just to be able to come down to the studio and open the curtains and enjoy the sun coming in, because like I said, once we get into really the winter months, I find I have to consciously work to make sure that I'm up and about during the scant few hours of daylight that we get. I might go back and widen these a bit just so that the details on Corinne's nightshirt are consistent. Doesn't need to be perfect, but it's kind of like what I was just saying, we're not perfect beings, and the quirks are kind of, can be what makes things visually interesting. Yeah. One of the reasons that I want to get back into streaming isn't just to hype up the release of the comic. It's because I think that the process of making art is important, and it's going to be more and more important as a means of, for us as actual artists, of differentiating ourselves from machines, showing the stories of how we actually make art, and explaining the processes and what thought goes into making it, why we do things the way that we do, and what the stories are behind it. because yet I could go into a real diatribe about it, but I'll save that for this morning. All I'm really trying to get at is that you can write a prompt and ask, you know, ask a computer to make art for you now. Okay, fine. Give it your grocery list, you know, but the computer can't tell you why it's making the decisions that it does. It just crunches data. And I got to thinking about it, and I really thought it's so important to keep, I think, a log of why, a log of sort of like the progress that you're making and why you've made certain decisions, things like that. That's something else that I've been doing as well, as I started to try and do. Totally fell off the wagon with it. As I had an old empty notebook I found lying around, and I was gonna just start every single day I was gonna write in there. It's like, well, this is what I did while working on CORBIE today. You know, I finished this panel, started this panel or whatever, and this is what I'm thinking about it. And I think that's a good way to have a record to share with other people, to share the journey of your art, but also just for yourself as well. I mean, I don't know what I was thinking when I was making, you know, well, I do know what I was thinking when I was making art 10 years ago or 15 years ago or 20 years ago, but I don't in a lot of cases have like a hard record of what I was thinking during the actual process, you know what I mean? Like what went into each individual piece. I don't have it in writing. I can only go, well, I kinda know that. You know, I have some idea probably where I was at that point in my life and what I was thinking. I don't know the specifics of what was going into each piece on any given day. It would be nice to have that kind of insight in the future. And I suppose actually, now that I think about it, just doing streams like this is kind of part of that as well, or can be part of that as well, is having a log, a video log really, a blog. Well, it's not a blog, it's a live stream, but you know what I mean, having a video record of what went into this particular this version, this new iteration of this old art. And one day if somebody wants to be realistic, probably me, if I want to go back and see where I was at when I was working on this piece, I can go back and revisit that. don't know if I've got the details on this logo on Corinne's nightshirt completely correct. If I'm wrong, I can always go back and fix it later. Okay, we should be making some degree of progress here. Speaking about things that we need to change, Corinne's smartphone has an entirely new design in new issues of the comic. I had to update it because there's certain things. Oh my god, I just missed it. There's certain things, you know, with the passage of time between 2018 and now, I wanted to just tweak, and there's just little things here and there that make the comic much more contemporary. You know, I don't want to. If I'm going back and fixing everything anyway, then I don't want. I want to make sure that it ages well. So little things like smartphones, stuff. Mostly just things like smartphones, social media, things like that. Like okay, now I'm really sort of spilling the tea, but because nobody knows about this yet. But in the original version of CORBIE issue 1, and probably in the subsequent issues as well, Corinne and Sadie I'm trying to remember the specifics of the scene. Actually, kind of a critical moment in the story in issue 1. You might recall if you've read issue 1, the original version. A pretty pivotal moment in the story. Corinne gets a message. She gets followed on Twitter, as it was then, by Sadie. He then sends her a message or something, adds her and says, remember what I told you, from their previous encounter. In the new version, they're not on Twitter anymore. In the new version, they're both on Mastodon. So there you go. Well, I figured, you see, the thing is, I don't care if people say Mastodon won't take off or not, because I've been a Mastodon the entire time that CORBIE's been running. So, yeah, it ain't going anywhere really. I mean that in a good way, it's not gonna go away. The thing is, my thought process was, Corinne's a tech person, she's an inventor. She would be a Mastodon. Sadie is an activist, so she wouldn't stick around on Twitter either. She would be a Mastodon too. That's where she would be organising, I imagine. I think they're both in the Fediverse for different reasons. But that kind of ended up being quite fun, because then I kind of had to think about what instances they would be on and things like that. Which wasn't a consideration in the old version. So all that stuff got updated, and when you see those interactions between Karen and Sadie in the new version, they're both in Mastodon, yeah. Right. I think I'm going to just give the... Yeah, sometimes you're kind of back and forth, and you kind of don't... or consider making a change and you don't know if it's going to look good or not. See that top of that tan there did not quite work. Karen's hand was so weird in the pencil version, by the way. I don't know if that made it into the final version of the sheet to the original one. You can go back and check. But man, she had a supernaturally long finger there. What on earth was that about? I may have connected that, I don't know. But, by the way, she's speaking to Morgan here, who is on a different layer, because that was the way that we did it back then. Is almost like a pencil version of Photoshop layers. In order to maintain the transparency effect when everything was done in pencil, I would draw all the elements that had Morgan on a separate layer, and the same with Corbie's wings as well. And Karen's Corbie, so those can be transparent and they can pass through background elements and things like that. I would pencil them on a separate layer, scan that in separately, and then it makes it very easy to adjust the opacity and just have everything exactly the way I want it. That was how we did it at the time anyway. Now everything's all digital, which is why we are where we are now. We'll be doing everything in Krita. Okay, I think I'm going to redo the details on Karen's smartphone. I'm going to have to go back and check the reference material for that. It still looks a little wonky. Yeah, it's okay for things to be a bit kind of wibbly wobbly, especially now that Corbie's gotten a lot more as a comic book. I mean, the series has got a lot more cartoony as it's gone on. So bringing in different influences and just making things bright and engaging and more fun is the direction we've been going in. And I've been really happy with it actually. I wish I had sort of a handle on that in the beginning, and then I think the comic would have been a lot more consistent, but we're getting there anyway now. We're going back and making it right. Okay. And we're going to change the dialogue as well, by the way, as go back and we can flip them off and on. But that's the original pencil art. You can see how rough the pencils were, and they were digitally tweaked, but everything had this sort of rough look in issues 2 through 4. And I tried different things to tweak it, but that's what the original pencil art looked like anyway. I need to change this dialogue from Karen about she's telling Morgan, you know, you come into my house, get out, and we'll call the cops. But Karen would say that in the especially later on when she becomes Corbie, is spoilers, but that's going to be a recurring theme is Corinne's methods of dealing with things as Corbie different from the cops, and so they have kind of like an adversarial thing going on. But we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves there. I suppose you could argue that since the Morgans are wealthy, that they did call the cops and said we've got an intruder in the house, that they would, you know, they would come and entertain that notion. But I'm not really feeling it. I've got to change that dialogue to be more appropriate for Corinne's character and what we will see from her in future issues. I want everything to be consistent. So that's that, I think. Now we should probably wrap it up, but if we flip this layer off and flip the new layer on, and you can see how different things are now and what the comic is going to look like. It gives you some sort of taster for how it's going to be moving forward. And just how big an upgrade it is, and again, how big an upgrade issue 1 is as well, because issue 1 is all in this sort of updated style. And issue 1 really benefits from when the upgrade looks so much better than the original version in the remaster, and it's like night and day. Just a huge step up. Issues 2 through 4, I think it's going to be a bit more incremental. It's going to be like a nice glow up, but issue 1 is a massive glow up, huge step up. So, you know, get excited. It's going to be. This is the first time now I'm telling people don't read Corbie. You can if you want to. I would say don't read the free versions that are online just now, because you're not going to get the best experience. It's such a big improvement, and it shows you as well, I think, how, you know, I was joking to say I'm an old man, but you know, like I said, I've been drawing for years and years and years, and if you want to get technical, you could say I've been drawing since I was like 6 years old, making comics, and still, even in the 5 years between the first version of Corbie, well, 6 years really, the first version of Corbie issue 1 and the new version, it's just a huge improvement. You can still, you're not set in stone, you know what I mean? And that's been part of the fun of it as well, is just to see what I've been capable of myself. Is just to keep going, you know, as an artist, and to have a clearer idea of what I want as well. Is that's been really, it's been a rewarding experience to see that unfold on the pages as the remaster of issue 1 has come together. So we got to wrap it up because that's been about an hour now. Oh, we don't have to wrap it up. We could leave it all for next time. And this was just a test stream anyway, you know. So probably wobbly and wobbles. I need to just tweak it a little bit for future streams. It's a bit weird as well because I'm always angling over to, you know, look at the monitor and that. That's not good. I've got to fix the model so that YouTube Redrawing is looking in the direction that isn't too bent over. Yeah. Okay, this has worked out a lot better than the Twitch stream did. To switch between this for the teething problems. And it's too bad that we couldn't speak the character this morning, but figure out what went on with that. But the plan is we're going to keep doing this. So tomorrow morning, it's going to be 6 AM UK time. Will be the Twitch stream, first hour, 3 till 7, then 7 till 8, or probably about 15 minutes after that. Actually, we haven't set it in stone yet, but probably say 7:15 to 8:15 will be the second hour where we go live on YouTube and Picarto, and that should be how we're going to be doing it from now on. So what I'm going to do is I am going to bow out there for this morning. I hope you have a good day, and I will see you tomorrow for the next edition of Club Kirby.